a big angle in this next match here. We had Juice Robinson and Fred Rosser.
Non-match.
It was a match that didn't happen because Juice attacked Fred Rosser before the bell. Of course, Juice Robinson interfered in the match between Fred Rosser and Kenta in the first place, which is why Kenta is the strong champion. He got the title from Fred Rosser partially due to Juice, and of course, Fred's blaming Juice, thus transitioning Fred into the feud. Now, you had some thoughts on why this had to be the way this went, and it's very interesting. I think you're absolutely correct. We're going to get to that in a second. So, of course, Juice was involved in that mini tournament for the shot at the U.S. title, Kenny Omega's U.S. title. For political reasons, or at least storyline reasons, or however you want to put it, Juice needed to get out of that. So here's how they got out of it. Juice attacked Rosser before, being the jerk heel that he is, before the bell, and attacked some New Japan officials as well in the midst of all that, thus getting himself storyline suspended. So this match never happened. It was all an angle, and then he was removed from that U.S. title contenders tournament the following night, because the first match of it was going to take place in Philadelphia. So, Jeremy, tell us a little bit more about why New Japan felt this move was necessary.
Bro, the whole thing is a fucking mess. It's just such a mess. Okay. First off, we need to go back to Battle in the Valley when Fred Rosser was defending a champion against Kenta.
Okay.
And he was getting booed against Kenta. And that was a bad sign. So from the last time that we've seen on a New Japan show, a prominent spot for Fred Rosser, he was booed by the crowd, comes into this show, puts a chair with Tony Storm's name on it on the front row so that Juice could have his wife see him get his ass kicked by Fred Rosser. And when you put all this together, fuck, beat his ass, Juice. Like, you're the face here. Like, he has escalated this to a point where it's like, there's no winners here. No one's right. No one has the moral high ground anymore. But I kind of side with Juice here when you escalated it, like trying to bring his wife into the picture. The whole rest of it.
Well, like, Tony's a heel too, so
Tony's a heel too, but there's just a whole thing here that it's like, you read the room wrong, Fred Rosser, and then he got his ass handed to him, pillar to post. He got beat on the stage. He got this pile driver taken. He got chairs on the ring, just beat down, taken around the corner, and then he just got taken away. And it was briefly mentioned. They moved on, but it wasn't until later that they announced that Juice was going to be suspended and that he was no longer going to be on the show in any matches until further notice. So why did they do this, Stephen, you ask?
Why did they do this, Jeremy? I'm asking.
Jay White wasn't supposed to go to AEW. And so now that Jay White is with Juice Robinson on Rampage the night before talking about Bullet Club Gold and doing the Too Sweet, that kind of undercuts David Finlay, doesn't it? David Finlay, who by the announcer's explanation had been told he has complete and utter control over Bullet Club and whatever he says goes, and he kicked out Jay White, and if Jay White ever wants to be in Bullet Club or have any matches in New Japan, they have to go through him. So what does it say if you just have his buddy over there doing matches carefree and careless, and David Finlay just lets it happen? This guy is ruling everything in Bullet Club with an iron fist. It just doesn't look right. So they have to get him off this show in some way, shape, or form, given that the angle happened Battle in the Valley. Jay White timeline veered back and forth until he came into AEW. Then we had this match, and people might be asking the question, well, why do you have Jay White's buddy wrestling in a match on a show that's basically commandeered by David Finlay, and they're telling us David Finlay runs Bullet Club? That's a question. So they had to no contest this and, follow it up in some way, shape, or form. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see Fred Rosser on an AEW ring or even a Ring of Honor ring or some other show that is not New Japan that David Finlay won't be involved with in order to continue this feud.
We'll see how that turns out. But yeah, Juice not in the U.S. title tournament, and that led to something else in Philadelphia we'll get to in a moment. So.